Hi, welcome back to Holly Hobbies. Let's make this fun and easy St. Patrick's Day gnome ornament. These ornaments are beginner friendly and so fun to make. They bring a smile to everyone's faces. So let's have some fun and get started and make these super cute St. Patrick's Day gnome ornaments together. I found this orange yarn that I'm going to be using. It has a little thickness to it. I couldn't find the orange 4mm macrame cord, so I'm going to improvise with this for the beard. So let's get started. I'm cutting 12-inch strips, and it doesn't matter if it's exact or not. We're just going to go ahead and cut quite a few of these and get ready to start our beard. So I'm going to cut a few more and I'll be right back and we'll get started. So we're going to start placing the orange strips here. Cut about 12 and a half or so, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to place them onto our ring here. And we're going to do 2 at a time for this. Since I don't have the normal macrame cord that I use, and we're improvising today with this beautiful orange, a little bit on the thicker side yarn. So I'm going to take 2 at a time, and we're going to just divide those right in half like that. Then we're going to take the closed end here, and we're going to go under our ring. And we have the loop right here with the 2 strands, and then we're going to take all the loose ends here, we're going to pull them all through like that, and then we're just going to give it a tug back down this way and tighten it just like that. And if you flip it over, you could see that you have your little macrame knot right there. So we're going to keep doing this 2 strands at a time, and we're going to put probably well, let's see how many we're going to do here. Usually I think I do, I'm trying to think with the macrame cord, I think 6 or 7. So let's see what we got here. So there's 2, and we're going to add some more. We're dividing it in half. We have our loop, our closed loop up here. It's coming under the ring. We're taking all this end here and we're pulling it through the loop. We're grabbing it with the other hand and pulling it down, just like that. And we'll adjust everything in a minute. And I'm just gonna keep working on this 2 at a time. I've been wanting to do one of these really bad, and I just couldn't find the orange cord, so I just had to get some yarn, and I need to do a St. Patrick's Day gnome ornament with an orange beard. It's just a must-have. And we'll see what this looks like combing it out. I bet it might get a little fluffy like it does with the cord. It'll give it a fun look. So I think I'm going, let's see, how many would this normally be? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do one more. We'll do one more, 6 here. Putting the loop under and bringing the ends and pulling it through. So I'm going to flip it over, and then we're going to give you see all the macrame knots here, and just kind of give everything a nice little tug. Oh, this is going to look so cute. All right, so we have 6 of our pieces here and our sections, and they're doubled up. So we have 12 strands of about 12 and a half inches, and we have them looped on our macrame bead. So now I'm going to take our comb. I'm going to give it a little comb just to see what it looks like. This is what I would normally do with my macrame cord, and I would comb it out. I'm just gonna see what it looks like using this little comb here. And I'm just gonna give it a little gentle little fluff, and we're just gonna comb it out just like we would with the macrame cord. And I bet it's gonna look super cute. It already, look at it curling up, looking like little, that's gonna look like a beard. So we're gonna go through, and I am just gonna, just kind of gently, and you can also use a pet, like a bristle brush, anything like that. I just happen to love this little macrame comb that I use. So I'm just gonna go through like this and just give everything a good little comb. And we're gonna fluff this beard up, and it is gonna look super cool. So I'm gonna keep going with a few more strands. We're just gonna do it a few at a time. And you're just gonna get it the way you want it. If you wanna comb it all the way through, fine. If you wanna just give it a little, just a little one like I'm doing, that works too. Just kind of want to give it a little texture and some curl and a little character. And we'll be trimming the bottom at the end, but look at already how much better that looks than just the regular yarn like that. So I'm going to keep going and doing the same thing on all these, the rest of the yarn, and I'll see you back here in a minute. I just wanted to show you that it's starting to fluff up real nice. I really love the way it's turning out and combing out. And I'm just gonna keep going a little bit more and get it the way that I like it. And then we're going to be trim. It's okay if you get a little bit of this because we're using the yarn. So we're gonna trim all of that extra off. So I'm just gonna keep combing this through, and we'll meet right back. So I'm getting it just about the way I want it. I like that little curl and fluff and texture there. So now we're just going to take our scissors, and I'm going to trim it the way that I want. I'm just going to give it a little trim here at the bottom, and we can always go back and trim some more. And it's gonna kind of shape it a little bit, just like a beard. All right, so I'm just gonna keep it like that for now, and I'll give it its last finished touch when we get everything else connected. But I really like the way that looks with that yarn. That is super cool. And it just has a lot of fun texture and curl. I almost like it better than the macrame cord for this particular design. So I'm glad that I worked with this. I love it. And I'm sure you could probably just take it apart with your fingers too and just give it a little, work with it like that too. Oh, I love that. Okay, so we are gonna get started with the hat, and we are gonna get this all put together. For this next step, we're gonna be making the hat. And I have some of our green yarn cut in about 18-inch. I mean, this is way longer than we're gonna need. You can probably go about 14 to 16 would be fine. And we have a cardboard tube here. We're gonna cut this in we're gonna cut it a little bit bigger than we want it to be. I'm gonna cut this one a little bit wider. There we go, because I have a bigger little hat accent here. So I want to make sure this one's so we're going to take our cardboard tube, and we're just going to clean up any of those rough edges. Going to cut it about 3/4 of an inch or so. And I'm just going to clean up this other side as well. And then we're going to get ready to make our hat. There we go. Okay, so I have the edges cleaned up. I have my green yarn, and now we're gonna start with our hat. And it's gonna be very similar to what we did with the beard. We're gonna take 2 strands at a time because we are working with a thinner yarn. And just like we did with the ring, but we're gonna lay this cardboard tube on its side. You could just put your yarn up here to hold it. We're gonna come through the tube, And the same thing, we're gonna have the loop in our hand here. We're gonna grab the open ends and we're gonna tug it straight this time and just pull it straight like that and a little tight. And we're gonna keep going around with 2 of these strands at a time. Gonna divide it in half. Gonna take the loop, bring it through, bring all the open ends through the loop and pull. And you see how pretty that's gonna look. And we're just gonna make our way around this whole cardboard tube just like this. Now I'm using this thin green yarn, which is, that's why I'm doubling it up. You can use a thicker yarn. It's up to you. Whatever kind of look that you're after. I like to do these in all the different colors and hat accents for the different seasons of the year. And in the winter hats, they look really cute with the chunkier yarn. But whatever you like to do, I love this green sparkle, and I thought it was just gonna be so pretty with the hat accent and the orange beard. I've been wanting to make one of these with that orange beard for a while, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna keep going around this cardboard tube. You can see how easy this is. 2 strings at a time until you make it all the way around to the other side. So now I'm making it around. I've almost made it around the whole entire tube. And we're gonna make sure we have that whole cardboard covered up. And get that one on there, and then we'll just kind of push everything like that. And we don't want any cardboard showing through. So I'm gonna add a few more here, and we're just about finished with adding the yarn. But look at how pretty that is turning out. And it's getting nice and full and thick, and it's just gonna make a gorgeous, whoops, I messed that one up. Gotta put those back, make sure they both go through. There we go. And I'm gonna probably do one or 2 more here. Get 2 more. We finish up the rest of this yarn. And then we're gonna get ready to tie it off and cut our pom-pom. Okay, so I'm gonna add 1 more. And that is just about perfect amount of yarn. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna add this last one here. And look at that. We got our hat. And you wanna just give everything a little tug. Make sure everything's pulled. Let's see how that's. Just trying to find that little piece to tighten that one right there. We have all the green yarn on our tube here, our cardboard tube that's cut about 3/4 of an inch. So now we're just going to give it a good little tug here, like this. And now the fun starts. We're going to twist it, and then what we're gonna do is push it through the other side. You're gonna just push it with your thumb, your finger, and you're gonna get all that yarn. Oh wow, look at that. That looks cute just like that too. Huh. I like that, just like that. Look at that, I just discovered that. I would have never, huh, how cute does that look? Just like that. But, well, you could do it just like that too. Just keep that in mind. I just figured that out. I never did do them like that before, but that would be just as cute like that too. And that adds the stuffing for the hat. But anyway, what I was gonna show you was this way. And we're going to bring it through the other side, just like that. Now I'm gonna take a little silicone rubber band. I usually get a pack of them from the Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna get a silicone rubber band that I get from the Dollar Tree. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get we're gonna push this down like that, and we're gonna tie this off. And we're gonna give it, tie it, probably, let's measure it here. I'm gonna do probably about 2 inches or so from the base of the hat. We're gonna tie off, okay? And I'm gonna wrap it with this silicone rubber band 3 times. Whoops, that one broke, so I'm gonna get another one. That happens. So we finished pulling it through, and we're just gonna give it a good tug here. And now I'm gonna tie off the hat, and I'm probably gonna do it about 1 inch, 1.5 inches from the base is where I'm gonna tie it off of. So I'm gonna go right about there. And we do have a lot of extra slack here, just easier to work with. And we'll be cutting that pom-pom, so I'm gonna put it on 2 or 3 times. I probably can go 1 more without it breaking. And should be the last time. All right. There we have 3 times that we put our rubber band about 1 inch, 1.5 inches from the base of the hat. So now I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut the pom-pom. And with a thinner yarn, first I'm just gonna cut all this off. I like to make a pretty tight, short little pom-pom when it's thin yarn like this. So I'm just gonna flip it over. That way I like to go about 1/2 inch from where the rubber band is. And I'm just gonna cut around like this first. This way I can, if I flip it this way, I can see it better from the bottom, how far I'm getting around that edge, like that. And then we're gonna flip it over. Make sure I have it all even like that. And then we're just gonna trim our little pom-pom here and get it the way that we want it to look. I just like to do it, like I said, a little bit shorter of a pom-pom. Little piece right there. There we go. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do is that all that yarn that we just cut off, because I don't like to waste anything. And we need a little stuffing here in the hat to give it that little extra. And since this is the same color, look at that. Look at how perfect that's gonna be. So we're just gonna take that excess yarn and we're gonna use it as our stuffing. That way we are not wasting anything. It's gonna work just perfect. It's gonna blend in. If there's any gaps in it, you might see it. You're not gonna see it because it's green. And it just gives it that little extra stuffing in the hat that we need. So look at that, perfect. So we're gonna take all that and stuff it in there. And I might just even use the rest of this that we used as well. So here we go, look at that. I love using, not having any waste. It's so cool. Okay, so we put that, all the extra scraps inside the hat to use as stuffing. And look at how cute our little hat is turning out. Just gonna give it a little more shape here. Right, okay, so I think I have the pom-pom how I like it. And now we get to put this all together. Now we have our beard that we're gonna be attaching here. And I'm gonna get the wood bead and let's get this put together. I wanted to show you how I do the hook for the hat. If you want to hang it, I do these in about 15-inch strips, and it's just a very thin cotton cord that I use, and I have a plastic embroidery needle. And what I do is I take this, I bring it through the middle, right? Try to get in the center of the pom-pom, bring it up through the top, and then I'll just bring it back through the bottom. And I hold the loop right now so it doesn't go through. And I'm gonna do 2 knots here at the end. I'll do 1 knot first, and then I'm just gonna do 1 more. All right, so we're gonna come through the top here. So we're just gonna push the stuffing back in. I'm gonna trim the little pom-pom here, that pieces right there. And then we have our ornament hook here. So now we're gonna add it on top of our hat with this 1-inch bead that's gonna be the nose. Now we're ready to put all this together. We have our hat that we made with our hook here. And I have our 1-inch wood bead, and there's always a little swirl, a little design. So just kind of see how you want your nose, the end of your nose to look. And I'm gonna use, probably just put it about like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna be placing the hat on top of here and the nose. So first step is the hat. I'm just gonna set that right there. And we're just gonna make sure our stuffing is pushed up in there real good. And I'm gonna start by putting 2 dabs of hot glue on each end here. And then I'm gonna put a strip in the middle. So I'm gonna just do a couple little dabs here. 1 there, 1 there. And I'll do a strip across. And now I'm going to add the hat right there. Okay, and you don't want to hold it too hard, but you just want enough so the wood ring is not showing on the edges. And we're going to come back to that, and now we're going to put a couple dabs of glue, and I want the end of the nose right there, so I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to put a couple little spots of glue, just 2 little dabs like that. And now we're gonna go ahead and place our nose. First, I'm gonna go into the hat and then lift it up so the glue doesn't quite, you don't want it to get all over the place. And then we're just gonna push it down, and then the glue's gonna hold up there, and now we can continue holding the sides and get that ball just the way you want it, and hold everything down like that. Give it a minute to dry. And then we can even flip it over. And if you want, you could do a couple more dabs in here of glue to hold that ball, but I find that just those 2 dabs hold it just fine. And look at how adorable this is turning out. Now we have our last finishing touch. I found these cute little shamrock clovers. And all we're gonna do now is we're gonna add one of these shamrock clovers to the hat. We're gonna add a little dab right there. And we're gonna add our finishing touch here. Look at how adorable our St. Patrick's Day gnome ornament turned out. I love the curls and the textures in the beard, and I think this is so cute. I hope you had fun crafting with me today, and that you'll come back and craft with me some more. Thank you for joining Holly Hobbies, from my heart to yours.